Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to your Ass Hurts News Network. I'm your host, Sergeant Friday. What's my description? Oh, Rolo the Clown called it. It's his mom. Nothing to report. He pled guilty. 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 Well, good evening for those that are in the chat room. What do we got? Let me get into my comment section here. We got Truth and Justice. We also had Mark and Betty. And we have Mittens and Kittens. And Dang Bird and Johnny Gable's dead floozy mother. And me, myself, and I. We're just full in here. We're filling up. We got 20-something users. We got X. I think X is coming online. Looks like X might have a couple of people in there. Let me make sure the volume is down so that none of this feeds back into the system. As you all know, my third world tech support isn't what we would call the highest quality. However, they did invent the lunch table out of a toilet seat. Therefore, they impressed me enough to become my IT support, my tech support. And yeah, it works out real well. 60 cents an hour. 60 cents an hour. I don't even know what it is. 60 cents an hour. It's just amazing. This is not the end. This is so much still happening. I don't know there, Becky. It's over. Brian Coberger has broken the level of reasonable doubt by standing up and admitting that he committed these crimes based on the weakest amount of circumstantial evidence I've ever seen. However, I do want to note that there is a lot of sealed information that we were never given. So there may in fact be something within the sealed documents, the sealed hearings, and the battles going on behind the scenes that was more significant than what Bill Thompson uttered today, which was kind of shocking that he uttered the exact circumstantial bullshit that was in the probable cause affidavit. However, I do want to point out that Brian accepted that and he admitted to it. So, to me, the case is over as far as, looking to trying to dig into anything like this. I think at this point, you have to throw in a towel. I'll never change my opinion about the circumstantialness of this case. And I think Brian Koberger made a life-altering change, and he made a huge mistake because you cannot appeal this particular case. And if his fear was the death penalty, well, then he should have fought for his life as if his life was on the line, because in fact it was on the line. And I simply think he made a decision that he should not have made. And he did it. So that's on him. That tells me that he committed the crime. And the only other analysis that I can come to is that there's information we're just not privy to. I mean, that would make sense. That would make as much sense as anything else. There's groups out there that are going to talk about him being railroaded and da. Or I think Nikki Neuerl's nugget, which she probably needs more than a nugget in her neural, is claiming he wanted the witness protection. You can't explain away the fact that he admitted to it. He's made a big mistake, and I wonder. No, he doesn't have 30 days to change his mind. No, I don't think that's accurate at all there, Beck. Who said that? Truth and Justice? No, I don't think you're given a 30-day grace period to change your mind. He had all the time in the world. He had 32 months to change his mind, and he didn't do it. Right? He stood innocent until finally he changed his mind. And like I've been saying the whole time, that's why, folks, you pay attention to the data being released, and you don't run out and try to solve the crime. How many of you guys are guilty of trying to solve this crime? He's innocent. He's innocent. He's innocent. How many are you Pavarotti fans and all of these other fucking goofballs showing you videos and reflections and pixelated images, and you spent 31 months chasing your tail? And the data coming forward, my analysis of it suggested that it was too circumstantial to convict, And then Brian Coberger came forward and admitted it. Therefore, my observations, as astute as I thought they were, as fair-minded as I thought they were, are moot. They mean nothing, right? And that's it. Yeah, if you're innocent, it's not even throwing the dice. If you're innocent, you fight for it. Come on, man. I beat charges I was guilty on by not. That's throwing the dice. Guilty. I was guilty, and I still threw the dice and won. You know? So the information we were privy to was circumstantial. And that meant to me that he had a great shot at a trial. Just like you saw in the Karen Reed case. And yet he chose to come forward and say, I did it. I committed 4 murders. Not one. Not an accidental backed into his arm. An intentional premeditated murder and slaughter of 4 people. So all of the bullshit stories they said, whether there's any truth to them or not, is no longer even important. Brian Koberger's admitted to the crime. And that's what I'm trying to say. You got to pay attention to the data coming out of the courts and from the documentation. To sit out here and debate whether he's innocent or guilty is a fool's errand, as now many of you may have pie on your face or egg on your face, whichever you prefer. I prefer pie. Hey, he admitted to committing the crime and killing 4 people. So, yeah, he did it alone. Look, you can fight a jury conviction. You can't fight a plea agreement. Now, all these people saying he can appeal this, good luck. Didn't you hear what he said? Do you have any problem with your counsel? Did you get effective counsel? Did you blah 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 blah? Yeah, he said he got all of that. Any motions that were filed or that should have been filed that weren't filed? No. Did all we could. I did it. And that's how the cookie crumbles, folks. And I'm disappointed the guy didn't run it through trial, whether he did it or not. I'm disappointed he didn't run this through trial because I think it would have been interesting to see how the trial would have been done. Now I'm made to understand that Lana is going to have Cy Ray on her broadcast. So I don't know when that's going to happen, but keep an eye out for Truth and Transparency with Cy Ray getting involved in her stream. I don't know why I see you can't ascribe these definitions to things that you can't define because of personal experience. His ego wants to be known for doing it alone. Well, you have no way to know that to be true, right? You can put any label on any of this that you want, but in the end, the kid's guilty because he said he was guilty. And unless something changes, like the earth starts rotating in the other direction, this fucking kid killed those 4 people. And he should have got he should get the execution. I think Judge Hipler should say, fuck you, you're going to the execution now. Should have went to trial. The judge doesn't have to agree to not sentencing him to death. Just be aware of that. I think that would be fucking funnier than my motherfucker if the judge says that based on the horrificness of this crime and the totality of lives taken, Mr. Coberger will face the death penalty. I'll laugh my fucking balls off. Because it all goes to what I said in the beginning. You never, ever, ever, ever admit to it, even if you did it. Ever. You push for your preliminary hearing, which Lana made a good note. They delayed that 6 months. That was a big mistake. Huge mistake. But they did, in fact, do that. That should not have been allowed. Right? Cy Ray turned this case. The final cast report nailed it. It's possible Cy Ray was able to show that Brian was at that house. And Cy Ray said, we don't know. We'll have to, you know what I mean? We can guess all we want. But in the end, there's no guessing here. Brian Koberger admitted to guilt. He admitted he committed these horrific crimes. And I honestly think Hitler should. Whether you like it or not, I don't give a fuck. Hitler doesn't have to accept the plea deal as arranged by the prosecutor, and he can then institute his own fucking punishment. And it would be interesting if Hitler comes forward and says that based on the totality of the crimes, you will face the death penalty. I really hope Hitler does that. Because that's what you get for being stupid. In all fairness. You heard him tell Brian right in the court. You understand that you entered into a plea agreement with the prosecution, but that in no way binds this court to the sentencing in that agreement. Dun, 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 dun. Death penalty is needed now. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Ba-boom. Are you kidding me? Let me fucking polish those guns and clean them fucking guns and oil them barrels for you. Many innocent people have taken a plea deal. Listen, I'm one of those idiots that took a plea deal because it was insurmountable. In my opinion, I was wrong. I learned from that experience that you never take a plea deal. Right? All discovery came in with the final cash report and Cy disappeared. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Cy also wrote that last motion to the court. Within the last 60 days, his motion accused the fucking prosecution of lying and hiding. So I don't know what came in. I don't know, man. Listen, sometimes you do things just because it's the principle of it. Now, you don't know how your life is going to unfold. You don't know what's going to happen to you tomorrow. But if you didn't commit these murders, then you stand tall. If you did commit the murders, you stand tall. The justice system it's not about the truth. It's about winning or losing. That's the tragedy of American jurisprudence. It's fucked up. No different than our political body. It's fucked up. That's also true, Kara. I agree with that. Let me put her comment up on the screen. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong thing. Hang on. Ow, there you go. There you go. And as always, at the top of the screen, there is a link that you could click. Come in, voice your opinion. Don't get too stupid. Sarge will strike. The Empire will strike back. What's up? Never too late. But you're welcome to come on up. Anyone that decides or thinks that they may want to come up, here's a link in the general chat, but there's also a link at the top of the page. Even if you don't like me, if you hate me, you're welcome to click on that link and bring it. Old Sarge has got no issue with that whatsoever. I don't hide. I don't play hide and seek anymore. My daughter is grown, and I'm an older guy now. Old Sarge is getting old. Huh. I took a plea when I was 22. Yeah, I've taken pleas. The gag order will never be lifted. I don't know if that's true. I think the judge indicated it would be. Ew, earwax. Earwax. You know, and then this idea about the car, about his cleaning of the car, you know, that's an interpretation of what Bill Thompson is saying. But based on what Ann had told us, there was nothing. The only way you were going to clean that car would have been with bleach if you're going to get rid of DNA or blood or anything of that nature. And to say his car just crossed the country. So that entire act of cleaning your car, as we've gone over numerous times, whatever he did to clean his car wouldn't be that unusual. You saw how filthy his car was coming back from Indiana or coming back across the country with his dad. So that's just circumstantial evidence. This is the first serious multiple murder case that I've seen where the defendant is surrounded by circumstantial evidence, and bam, yeah. Well, he not only shut down Cy, he shut down every defense Brian Coberger's attorney tried to go forward with. 8 hairs found in his apartment had no connection. I know all the guilters running around arguing they had Murphy's hair. They had nothing. Windex removes blood with the ammonia. Well, you know, what a day there, Ellison says. And JC, the music man, DW had 8 hairs. Did you guys ever hear that Hagelina, Okapoka, Okatoka, Akataka Waka was her name? Did you ever hear that when you were in school? Huh? She had 8 hairs on the top of her head. 4 were alive, 4 were dead. Do you guys ever remember that? The Agalina Hagalina song? Ann Taylor put in too much work. Well, Ann Taylor didn't seem to be as effective as we all hoped her to be. Brian did. He cooked himself. He set himself in gas and lit the match and see ya. You guys don't remember the Agalina Hagalina song? She had 2 teeth in her mouth. One pointed north, the other pointed south. You guys don't remember that song? Come on. I was a little boy when they were teaching us that music class. You don't recall that song. I don't know what kind of rock you people crawled out from underneath, but damn, it must not have been a very big one. I'm not going to sing the whole song. I'd have to bring up the lyrics again. Let me see if it's even on the line online. It might be. Let's see if it's on here. Agalina Hangalina. Yeah, it's a funny song for kids. Come on, you guys don't remember that? She had 2 hairs in the top of her head. One was alive, the other was dead. Magalina Hagalina. Come on, how could you guys not know that song? It's a children's song. What kind of childhood did you people? Maybe this is just a very disturbed song and why I'm so fucked up. I don't even know. There's a link to the song. It exists. It's Magalina Hagalina. She had 2 eyes in the front of her head. One was green, the other was red. She had 2 teeth in the middle of her mouth. One pointed north, the other pointed south. She had 2 holes in the middle of her nose. One for her fingers, the other for her toes. You guys don't know that song. Yeah. Come on now. That's a fun song for kids. And her hair stuck out like the sails of a boat. Her Adam apple wandered up and down her throat. She had 2 feet, size 40 and a half. One took a shower, the other took a bath. Oh, yeah. Sing it to your grandkids. Print that thing up and let your grandkids learn it. It's a stupid, silly song for little kids, man. I remember that. I was like in kindergarten or something when I heard that one. Shit, I remember being in a high chair when I was a kid. My memory goes deep. Not quite as deep as Rolo goes into his mother. I'm so excited people took that fucking trash in a Rolo and played it on other streams. I'm just excited about that one. That's just fucking awesome, man. I mean, when do you get to roll over somebody and people like it enough to play it on their own stream? I just wish I knew what stream it was so I could replay that stream. Oh, man. It's crazy. Crazy. Brian Coberger. I'm guilty. Somebody save me. And my pledge is that I don't care what happened in court, how you perceive what happened, your opinion of it. The kid pled guilty, it's over. And if Hitler decides to go for the death penalty, I will have a fucking fireworks party for that. I'm down with that. He admitted to doing it, then he should take the punishment. 4 lives are gone and extinguished. Yours should be gone and extinguished too. You know? What nothing half-assed. Hello from Allison White. It is a cute song, isn't it? Magalina Hagalina. It's Silly Willy. I'm surprised that it's online, to be honest with you. I looked for this a long time ago and couldn't find it. Eye for an eye. DP. But I also want to point out, so many people became very, very fucking famous streamers and they took on a very, very large accounts and subscriptions went through the roof and money was rolling in their front door. And they had you people scouring every inch of that fucking community, taking you on trips on fucking Google Maps and bringing you to this guy's house and showing you this video, this clip, this sound, this noise, all for nothing. That was all for nothing. You were better off watching the grass grow. Hell, you were better off trying to grow corn in a fucking rock field. right? You should have thrown should have germinated corn in a rock quarry. What you should have tried doing. You might have had more success. Look at all these streamers that played all them fucking hours and hours and millions and millions and millions of fucking life's hours gone. Because this guy did it, that guy did it, Pavi said this, and Tommy Jude said this, and Bubbly Water said that, and this one did this, and this one did that. Yikes. Don't y'all feel a bit fucking stupid? Don't you feel a bit stupid? When you should have just stuck with the documents, as I tried to insist. The documents, the court proceedings, the hearings, the information coming forward, we're going to tell you the story. And it was the only story you were ever going to get. And what happens at the end? Listen, I, like many of you, think that that's the most fucked up circumstantial case I've ever seen in my life. If you go take the PCA for Brian Coberger and hold it up against that Rhode Island killer, go look at the two PCAs. Everything against that guy and the Gilgo killer is a fact. It's circumstances based on fact. And one circumstance led to another, to another, but they led to unrefutable facts. Phone calls, location data, blah, and none of that in Coberger. None of it. So don't get me wrong. I don't find any shame in pointing out that the circumstantialness of this case was a joke. That nobody should have been convicted for that. But this kid decided to come forward and admit he did it. In spite of the improbability of it, at 417. I want to see that. I still want to see where my analysis of the moment the crime started isn't correct. Right? That's the correct thing. There you go. I agree with you. And that was the whole purpose of this of what hey SRB, what's up? Of what I tried to say. Yeah, I agree with you there too. I'd rather keep the system honest. There should be no railroading. And people should be convicted based on facts. Or the biggest fact of all is when you admit it. And I'm not going to analyze and try to digest and twist what he did as that he was forced or coerced or tricked or I'm sorry. That's a horrific fucking thing to admit to. Unfuck 4 homicides in the same night with a bladed weapon. Unbelievable. That's just incredible, man. Well, if he found love in prison, let me just tell you that's going to be short-lived. I mean, they move you around the different institutions. Whoever your boy is there, he ain't following you to where you're going. Or maybe he found some woman on the outside. I don't know. I'm just, I'm more angry that the guy gave up on himself, whether he did it or not. I'm more angry in that because this was an extremely interesting case in that what we were exposed to was so circumstantial it wasn't even funny. Yeah, I don't care what the guilters and the pro-burgers are saying. Come on, man. I don't give a fuck what pro-burgers are saying. That's what I kept telling you. It's not about innocence or guilt, right? I don't feel like I got any mud on my face. I still hold to the data that they gave us and the interpretation of that data. I think that was as accurate as I was ever going to get. And that's that. As to whether he did it or not, of course he did. Apparently he did do it. Apparently, not even apparently, for sure, he admits to doing it based on the fucking bullshit of driving around in a car that nobody could identify. He's telling us that's his car, right? Well, Ann Taylor probably doesn't feel anything. Ann Taylor should have actually found a way to get some book rights on this. Although her information between her and her client is confidential unless she gets a release from him. Who knows? Yeah. No, I mean, I'm fully on the side that this gentleman is guilty and he should be executed. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We took his word. We took his word. And so when it comes to the time of him pleading out, those of you that took his word that he was innocent should also now take his word that he's guilty. And then to get in here, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of streamers with a lot of conspiracy theories and how he was bamboozled. And, you know, okay. Go ahead there, Pavarotti and all you other fucking dim-witted fucking clickbait and motherfuckers. Go ahead to create content just to fucking tickle your own balls with your mom's tongue. Keep doing it. I'm sure your mom enjoys it. So it is what it is. I'm guilty. She's on another murder case, yeah. But you know, and I don't hate any of these other people. I just want to draw a contrast between myself and what most of what you find online, and a lot of it is clickbait. It's just, you know, and I fall victim to it myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm not above or better than anyone. I try to focus my attention on the facts and let them take me where they take me. I try to understand the information they're giving me as best I can and share it online, right? Demon dog. Yeah. Fool me once. Like I said, there was never any clear understanding as to whether he did it or not in my mind. There's innocent till proven guilty, right? And so that being the controlling factor, that should also be the controlling factor in your observation of these criminal cases, all of them. And it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. I mean, every single time a new rumor spread, I felt in my gut a little twinge like, that's fucked up. But then they all turned out to be dishonest. There was no truth to them. Every time Steve said something in the beginning, I thought, yeah, Steve should know. Blah, blah, blah. I listened to that TikTok drip drop motherfucker with parachutes and tunnels and fucking God only knows how the fuck he come up with these ideas. And there's so many people like that. The majority of the streamers are like that. I think a few of us aren't. There's probably more than I'm aware of. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Shouldn't he have to prove his own guilt other than just saying it? Well, I would have insisted that he tell us what he did with the knife, or I wouldn't have given him a plea deal. That would have been a condition. I want to know where the murder weapon is. If you can't tell me where the murder weapon is, then I'm not gonna even offer you a plea. I agree, Grant. Well, there was a knife found at Brian's house. There was a knife found. There were 3 knives. 2 of them identified. One listed as just knife. So that may be true. I've been saying that the whole time, that the fucking knife they found at Coberger's house was a K-bar. I've been saying that for years. 32 months, 30 months, 28 months, 2 years. The knife in that fucking that inventory list. I'm saying Steve said K-bar. I was saying K-bar probably before Steve ever said it. In all fairness, but I want to know where the murder weapon is. If I was the prosecutor, but I'm not the prosecutor. I don't smoke crack, and I don't look like a fucking crack smoking Santa Claus like Bill Thompson does. In all fairness, I mean, goddamn, I'd wear a fucking mask if I was that guy. Well, he admitted to it. So now anything else that comes out will come out, and it'll clear itself up, maybe even more. Or, as usual, what happens with these things is that we'll move on as the public moves on, right? I mean, in politics, that's what happens too. Somebody shit gets people a new crisis, a new murder, new happens, right? Right now, you're being told they're going to cut Medicaid. They're going to cut Medicaid or Medicare. We're cutting it. Yeah, they are. They're kicking the fucking illegal immigrants off it. They're not cutting Americans off it. If you qualify for it and you're an American citizen, they're not even going to bother you. Okay, but if you're an illegal immigrant, one of the 5 million that are getting Social Security numbers, that got Social Security numbers, yeah, well, no, fuck you. You get no free health care. Fuck out of here. And that's how it should be. Whether people like that or not, I don't really give a fuck. The world has rules, right? Yeah, I call him the cracker claws. That was my nickname for him. Cracker claws. Yeah. So look, the world has rules. Every country you go to has rules. Go bring marijuana into an Arab country. Go bring marijuana to some of these countries. They'll fucking throw you in prison. Huh. There's rules. And why is it Americans think Americans shouldn't have fucking rules to live by? It's just beyond me. Some of these sycophants out there that think there should be no rules. No, I don't think anything, Mama. No. I think Brian Coberger is the sole perpetrator of this crime because Brian Coberger just told us he was. And that's as far as I can, that's as far as my thinking will let me go. All of this other stuff that he was railroaded and all of that. All right, yeah, you could stand on whatever hill you want to climb, you could get up there and stand there. But he told us. Right. Brian knows if Brian did the crime, Brian knows where the knife is. And I think that would be one thing that would really settle down all of the folks that have been following all these streamers with 88 different fucking suspects, 8,000 different fucking audio clips, 22,000 trillion billion gazillion fucking images that have been blown up to the point of fucking insanity. For fuck's sakes, we don't get that kind of blowing up on images we take of planets in our solar system. No, I just wanted to do this following this one right here. It just happened today, and it's all related to the ending of the case. So no, I don't think there should be any more carrying on. There should be no attention, unless we want to, we want to start arguing that he should get the death penalty. That Judge Hitler should not just allow this man to live out the rest of his life in jail. We know he's a sycophant for studying, right? So the guy's going to study the rest of his life in jail. No, you admitted to doing it, then you should face the firing squad. Just so you know, that's what I think Judge Hitler should do. I don't care about all the arguments these people are going to put forward about a conspiracy and this, that, and the other. I don't want to hear it. The kid admitted it. It's over. So how's the life in the greater fucking world of the planet? And it's not too late for the death penalty. Hitler doesn't have to abide by the prosecutorial agreement for this kid's plea. He told you that right in the courtroom. He told Brian Coberger that, and Brian Coberger accepted that. It is not too late for the death penalty. Sorry. It's not. Not my opinion. The court does not have to abide by the sentencing agreement you and the prosecutor have outlined. Do you understand? Yes. Huh. But how? Death sentence. Yeah, I think Hitler should give him a death sentence. I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. You admit to it, goodbye. That's been listen. They won't test the DNA. Who's Molly Bish? Who's Molly Bish? Look, and this is the other point too, folks. Let me just say something. There's a strange comfort in playing the middle of the field. There's a strange comfort in playing that. He did make a plea deal to avoid the death penalty, and that's what the prosecution agreed to, but the court doesn't have to adhere to the plea deal. The sentencing part is up to the judge. There's no more jury involved. He pled guilty to murder of 4 young individuals, and the prosecution enticed that, obviously, with taking the death penalty. The state will not seek the death penalty. That does not mean that the judge himself can't institute the death penalty. And I really think he should. And then I think Brian Coberger should stand in frozen fucking shock phase, and then he should call Dylan and ask her if she did the same thing. Well, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But a plea deal does not need the sentencing agreement in a plea deal between a prosecutor and a perpetrator, okay, does not need to be stuck to by the judge. The judge can turn around and give this kid 10 years on every one of those murders. He accepts the plea deal in the hearing. He may change his sentence, is what he said. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Okay? He doesn't have to abide by the agreed upon sentencing that the prosecutor laid out. The prosecutor doesn't get to say what the sentence is going to be in any case, in any prosecution, even if a jury convicts you. Well, I hope he can fucking change it and give the kid the death penalty. There's precedent for this happening where the prosecution and them accept a plea deal and it goes in front of the judge and the judge will just say no. Okay? Or the judge, after reviewing the case, will come back into the court and say that he can't abide by the agreement the two parties made. That's not unheard of. No, it wouldn't have happened today. What up, by the way, genealogy girl? I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, they can suggest, there you go. The state can suggest a sentence. The state can put down their fucking push to prosecute because the perpetrators admitted their guilt. So, you know, if he can't offer the death penalty, well, I think that's just fucking wrong. He should be able to come back and be Hitler of all Hitlers. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing half-assed. So what's going on there, genealogy girl? Well, I've been around through the whole case. So if you haven't seen me in a while, well, that's because you ain't been seeking me. I think I got you both on Twitter or X. I'm sorry. Yeah, I want the kid to face the firing squad too. I certainly do. Yeah, Diddy walked, huh? I didn't pay attention to the Diddy case. Huh. Well, Diddy walked, huh? I wonder how that all works out. No, I don't think I'm leaving yet. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stray conversations on this case. I may not be as popular, but I'll probably pop up on panels and I'll have to find a new something new to cover. Maybe we'll look at a case where it's obvious the person is guilty and be surprised. He was found guilty on 2 to 5 yesterday. Who was? Diddy? Was Diddy convicted? Hidden what? So what 2 charges was Diddy convicted of? Anybody know what the 2 charges? RICO had not been decided yet. So, but what was? I say you just finish him off. Transportation and prostitution. So he was what about minors? Anything with minors? Anything about minors? Prostitution and trafficking. Well, so he was a pimp. Trafficking in what though? And just sex? Diddy got 20 years for prostitution and trafficking? Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that maybe. The RICO racketeering not guilty. The rest was guilty. All right. Well, the sentencing will come by the judge. I see that. I don't know who Molly Bish is. I never heard of Molly Bish. Do people know who Molly Bish is? Well, that's just a really fucked up name, Molly Bish, because that's so easy to say wrong. They believe she was murdered. There's an unsolved child murder that occurred in Massachusetts after 16-year-old high school student disappeared while working as a lifeguard. Huh. Yeah, that's some shit right there. Yeah, I don't know what to cover there other than I don't know how you cover that. He lost on the blow job, but he won on the RICO. Can't beat that. I need my PC keys. Keep sending too soon. Let me see. Probably walk away from true crime as well. The Idaho 4 wasted a lot of my life. It wasn't a waste. Look at all the good people you met out here. Look at all the insanity you got to mingle with. right? Yeah, there are a ton of cold cases, but that's the problem with a cold case. How the hell do we have any impact on that? I'd like to see a live case. Maybe we could look at the Huberman case. Is that his name? Not a blowjob. Get your head out of the gutter. I'm speaking of allegedly with Brittany Nicole Jackson. Well, you wrote BJ. I mean, what the hell, Great Pearl? It's not like you don't got a dirty mind. You've been up on the panel here. Genealogy Girl, here's a link. You can click on this link. Wait, hang on. That was my funny song. Agalina Hagalina. I mean, anybody's welcome to click on that link. Come on up. Come on. Get in here. We'll always have Idaho. And that's why crap keeps happening. No one has no sense in the system anymore. Molly Bish, they have suspect, but they have a what? They won't test DNA from the scene. Well, I don't know. Yeah, did they with that IgG stuff? Maybe we should try to get a hold of Cash Patel and Dan Blockhead Bongino. Boy, there's a fucking winner. We got to get a hold of Blockhead Bongino and see if he'll look into the Idaho 4 case where the FBI was doing dubious shit behind everybody's back. Coberger looks like an evil owl. Damn. Coberger got that nose. Even Dylan Mortensen exonerated the guy. And this guy goes and pleads guilty. What? The eyewitness exonerated him by pointing at that big fucking nose of his and how she thinks that should have been. She should have recognized that right off the fucking bat. She didn't. What? Bushy eyebrows, but man, look at that nose. Holy shit. Unbelievable. Blowjob is still being used for giving head. Apparently. Skylar Banks. Oh my. I don't know what to say, but can you imagine when their prime witness exonerated him? Yikes. I'm guilty. You stupid motherfucker. I mean, all the data was there to get you exonerated. Yeah, how many see that Becky, you were hanging out with the wrong people. We wouldn't let you do that in here. No, Becky. And funny enough, that's the name of my ex-wife, Becky. Oh, Becky. And I bet she watched the same videos you watched 300 fucking times. Fucking discussions that never seem to end about the button. The button. Oh my God. Unbelievable. MM said, I saw Brian there. MM was about as useful as a witness as tits on a bull. That woman didn't witness anything. That woman don't even look in a fucking mirror. That woman didn't see shit. Uh-oh, we have a surprise guest for the evening, folks. Hang on. It's Genealogy Girl. None of you know her. But Genealogy Girl, is that your image? Or is that just who you'd like to look like? You got to unmute your microphone. There you go. You got to talk into the microphone. That's your lips and tongue in sequence, and the sounds, the air comes out of your lungs, and it manipulates the air. There you go. Breathe through your nose, honey. Breathe through your nose. You got this. I think you're breaking up terrible bed. Hello?
No, that's me.
Okay. That's you in that picture?
So can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Verizon. What do you have to say for yourself?
Hang on. I'm on my phone.
Yeah. And?
Okay, I'm on my phone. You know how... Can you hear me now?
You're technologically challenged, but you work in the world of genealogy, and that scares all of us.
Hello.
Hello. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, say something. So what do you have to say for yourself?
Who did you think it was?
I know who you are.
I don't know. Grass is.
You're off in la la land with your technology, though. What's wrong with your technology?
Lap pull a dog.
No one knows.
Why am I getting a bounce back?
Because you probably have Yahoo.
Wait a minute.
You have YouTube volume on too. That's why. And did you turn off the volume on YouTube?
Now, why's that? I was signed in.
Listen, wherever you're viewing me from, you have to close that page or shut the volume down.
Oh, well, okay.
So
yeah, I've been working on J6.
Been working on what? That's just.
I have no idea. Let me go.
Yeah, you can only have StreamYard running with any volume input coming into you. You cannot have YouTube or any of the other sites.
Let me turn off YouTube.
Boy, I think I said that 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Is that better?
Well, it sounds a little better.
Is that better?
Sounds better.
I closed YouTube.
All right. So now you're just on StreamYard. My God, you got a technological handicap over there. You should file for benefits.
Am I here?
Yeah. I don't know about that. Nothing half-assed. I didn't let that case interfere with anything like that for me.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. What do you got to say for yourself?
Oh, I guess not.
Wait, I can hear you. Yeah. I knocked that person off stage. I can't spend my whole day trying to figure out why you can't figure out how to talk into a microphone. That's just mind-numbing. That just make a man crazy. That'll really drive you. I did boot her, William. I beat you to the punch, bro. Let's try her again. Hey. Hey. Well, we're not very particular up here. We will engage with the retarded. That's just how we are. We can't object to that. You can't really, it is what it is. Apparently, genealogy girl's got a little bit of retardation into her technology skit. So there's not much more I can do. I don't know if she can hear me or not, but I can only do what I can do from my end. You know what I mean? It's like we're not in the same room. And so there you go. So my question that I was to ask Brian, where's the K? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where is the K bar? Uh-oh, here comes Great Pearl. More trouble. Hiding behind her phone.
That's right. How you doing?
Oh, I'm awesome. When am I not awesome? Come on.
I know. I just came up to keep you company.
I'm drinking my root beer.
There you go. Have you been swimming?
I swam a couple of times today.
Nice.
Got a big job site in order and deliver some stuff to it. Yeah.
Nice.
Life is good. I put in my hour today.
Did you feed the squirrels peanuts?
No, I don't feed squirrels. I feed chipmunks.
You're done that? Oh, chipmunks.
Chipmunks. Come correct there, woman.
Close enough. Come on.
Has anybody heard or seen Rolo the clown?
Who? You broke up.
Rolo the clown.
Oh, I don't know that.
Rolo Moto or something like that's his name. Yikes, he got all crazy up here one night. I told him to stop masturbating to his mother's photos. Things will be better. For some reason, he don't like me no more. I don't understand. People just take a dislike to me quickly. Why is that, Gray?
I don't know. I didn't like you at first either, but I kept listening.
A lot of people
kept listening, and this was like 4 years ago, when he used to go on Dago's panel. But then the more I listened, I was like, yeah, like he's pretty smart. We got a lot in common, and I'm
Huh,
not easily offended, so
I
I can
grow on
hang.
people, is what I'm
You
hearing.
do. I would
Yeah.
agree.
I'm like a
Yeah.
bad rash.
Yeah.
Bang. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, poor Rolo. How about is what's going on with these other people that all had the case solved? I want to know what those streamers are going to do. I think Nikki is arguing that he's now in witness protection.
Who, Coberger?
Yeah.
No, what the fuck does he need to be in witness protection for? He's in jail.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. He was railroaded. I talked to Twiz earlier, but I'm not really going to say I'm not going to repeat what he told me because it's, But
Yeah,
anyway,
no. I like Twiz. Twiz is a good guy.
Twiz
I
is
don't know the other. I don't know the other person to give an opinion, or never watched him.
Thomas Sharp. He did admit to committing the crime, and he don't have to do anything, and the state doesn't have to require anything more than admit to what we say you did, and that's what he did. So, he sunk his own ship. It was the most circumstantial case I've seen, and it ended with the defendant capitulating. So, shoot that motherfucker.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was foolish. I mean, I want justice, but there was a good. I mean, it was foolish for Brian. I think it was smart for the prosecution because there were so many holes. Like he should have gotten. If I were a juror, I would not have been able to
I know.
say that there wasn't reasonable doubt. And that if he really did do it, then I don't know. The whole thing just it's sad and it's frustrating.
I want to remind. I put a comment on the screen. I want to remind people of something. Because people do say I'm kind of a dick, but let me just remind, and I want this to be a global phenomenon. But every motherfucking one of us are here because some dude went, okay? We all come from a dick. So it's not an insult to call me a dick because I originated from a dick. So did you, so did Gray, and so did every other fucking living human being on the planet, including all animals. Came from some type of penile. So in a sense, we're all dicks. What do you say to that, Gray, bro?
I agree. And I
Right?
love your use of the peni,
Yeah.
the plural, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all part of we all were created from a penile.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I say I don't get mad when I'm insulted because there's so much truth to a lot of the insults that are heaped at me. I've earned them fucking insults, and I kind of find them enjoyable when people notice them and throw them in my face. It's supposed to offend me, but it just doesn't.
Well, I think I'm finding that that's a characteristic that I never knew that I really admired in people, because like you and Cluminati, like you don't give a fuck what people say, and I kind of always have. So watching, like when I'm like, hell yeah, like that must be so freeing to just not give a fuck. And I'm getting there. Finally, 40 fucking 9 years old, and I'm finally getting there. But yeah, I think I think
Listen,
it's
this
a
is true.
beautiful
I so
way
don't
to
give a
live.
fuck. I so don't give a fuck that at the end of
I
a
believe
job
that.
listen, at the end of this big job that was $115,000, I gave a quote for another section of this project,
Mhm.
and the person questioned me as if I was being dishonest as to the size of the project and the cost of the project. And I said, I'm not even going to have a discussion with you. If you spent that much money with me, right, knowing that
Mhm.
that price was lower than everyone else, intentionally, you gave me prices. I beat them all by more than 10 grand.
Well,
And
that
now
is
you
kind of
ask me, like, wait, I said, now you're asking me for a price on this section. I give it to you. And you think that I would give you a different price now? I said, if you question my integrity like that, don't ever ask me to do work for you again, ever. And I just got in my truck and drove away.
yeah.
And he called me back and he said, you
Kind of
know
the
something?
caveat, though,
I
because
apologize, he said, for questioning your integrity. I really need you to do that roof, and I should never have questioned you. And it's
Mhm.
I am not going to lie to you for money. I'm not going to lie to you to get laid. I'm not going to lie to you for anything. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. Well,
If
that's
I
the thing.
gotta
I said that
lie, there's
I
something
admire
wrong.
people who don't give a fuck, right? But the caveat to that is no. There's a lot of people that don't give a fuck. I admire people that don't give a fuck, but in the sense of the extra noise and the stuff that doesn't matter, that's not going to impact their lives.
Right.
When something does matter, like your company, your children, your morals,
Yeah,
your
you stand
integrity,
up
I
for it.
know enough about you and others that, the character and the integrity is there. So that's the person that I admire, who can say, I don't give a fuck. Not
Well,
just the bum on
like
the street who
the
doesn't
people
give
that
a
I
fuck.
had, the people that I had banned, like Jeff H.
Hmm.
He's just contrary to be contrary. The guy don't put a fucking second thought into it. It's just the way. And there's a lot of people in
There's a
America
lot of
like that.
people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
and they just don't want to go along with. They don't care what's right or wrong. They just want to take an opposition to everything,
Yep.
and that's what they'll do. And then they come in, they try needling, and then they have these conversations. They know the whole time that there's nothing you say to them is going to have any impact on them at all. But they're just going to engage you like he does, and it's like I don't need that in my life. I'd rather, like I said, I'd rather watch the grass grow.
Mhm.
That's how it works for me. I mean, there's a lot going on there in that grass, and watching it grow is exciting. More exciting than talking to fucking some living human beings that I've encountered in my days. And that's just how it is. Yeah, a lot of Dago's mods used to hate me in the beginning.
Oh,
They didn't like me at all.
they, yeah, I've had my run in Vegas channel. I too was hated by a lot of mods, so I haven't been back, but
Yeah.
whatever. That's what it is.
Paint dry is another thing to watch. That's interesting. The only
Always
problem
fun.
with watching paint dry, you know what the problem with that is? Is that
But
for whatever reason, you end up leaving a fingerprint on the fucking paint. That's the problem with watching paint dry. The temptation to see if it's dry overwhelms you, and the next thing you know, your fingerprint is in the paint. So
Yep.
that's a more stringent activity that requires that requires to either
Restraint,
restrain.
self-restraint.
Yeah, yeah. We're watching grass grow. There's really nothing you can do about that.
Mhm.
You could touch it, you could step on it, whatever. It's going to do what it's going to do. But paint, uh,
Nope.
yeah,
Every time I do my nails, I think of the same thing because I don't like going to. I used to go to the places, but then I got a infection, so I don't. I do them myself, and every time I do them, same shit. Even though I have like the LED light, all the shit that dries them, I tap it with my thumb, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And I mess up the whole damn nail. I have to start all over.
yeah.
You can relate, right? You've had that
No,
happen. You know. You
I have
know.
yet to have my nails painted. My daughter did paint my nails once, so I
Yeah,
let my daughter do it.
that's a good
Yeah,
dad.
and I painted hers. I still got nail polish from when she was. I should probably, it's probably no good, sitting in the cabinet in the bathroom. I got her little braids and
Yeah, that
those,
shit's expired, honey.
uh,
Keep the braids. The nail polish is expired. She's like a lawyer, isn't she? It's
yeah, my
expired.
daughter's a lawyer.
I promise you.
She's a lawyer, and it may in fact be, but it ain't hurting nobody, and I don't need the room, so I
No.
just leave it there. I don't care.
It's
I
a
still
nice
got my
reminder,
look
I'm
at
sure.
on my bedroom wall. I have a happy birthday. You know those things? They're all the letters are all individual and
Hmm.
they move. And I've
Yeah.
had that since she was 4 years old.
Well,
That thing's just
that's
been hanging
sweet.
on my wall forever.
It's sweet.
Yeah, well, it's not sweet.
And
She's lazy too. I'm
again, one of
also
my,
lazy.
reasons why I have, an affection towards you is I've heard your story. I've listened long enough to hear little, you've never spilled your whole life story, but over 4 years little pieces come out, and I know that you have a daughter who's grown, and little things like that. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he's not a dick. Somebody else come up.
I don't
Talk
care
to
what
us.
people. I
I
really
know
don't
you
care
don't,
what people think.
but
Even yeah, and in business even more so because I certainly will cut business ties on principle because you can always make money. I know, unfortunately, a lot of Americans do end up with the 8 to 5 or the 9 to 5, whatever the fuck that is and I get it. But
that's
even
me.
there, you got to have the attitude that your skills are going to carry you to wherever you need to go. And there's always somebody looking for a particular skill. So whatever it is you do,
Mhm.
if they're not treating you fair or they're trying to get one over on you, just close your fucking desk and move on.
I
Right?
got laid off last March, not this past March of 24, from a job I had for a long time. I was promoted. There was really nowhere higher for me to go, which is probably one of the reasons I was laid off. And I was devastated. Like, it took me over 6 months to find another job. Um, and then I finally did in September. and I couldn't be happier. That like everything sounds cliche, but everything kind of does happen for a reason. These people appreciate me. Like I'm making more there in less than a year than I was at the place I left and had been there for 7. You know what I mean? Like so
Right.
it sucks, but yes, when
Yeah.
it's over and you just gotta move on.
And I'm thinking by the end of this year, I'm going to be fully retired. I don't need to work. That's what I was talking about. I do talk to an uncle, extremely wealthy uncle. It's funny. One of his friends said, "Are you in his will?" I said, "Based on our relationship, all of my life, I'm in his will not." And he just looked at me. And he goes, and his friend said, "A will not." I go, "Yeah, I will not get anything." I said, "Which is fine. I'm not talking to him because I want his money. It's his money, not mine."
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's an interesting. Well, life is interesting, and the funny thing is I am actually living proof that what you really want out of life can be gotten fairly easily. Like I never, ever, ever accepted working 9 to 5 or working. I don't care what the job was. I could never accept that you would have to give somebody that much time to earn a living, no matter how
Yeah.
big and here's the thing: the bigger the amount, the longer you got to commit. I would never
Yeah.
accept that.
See, I didn't work 9 to 5 until I got divorced. Up until then, we owned restaurants, um, which is a little worse than 9 to 5. You know, like
Yeah,
it's a
that's
lot
way worse.
harder. Yeah. Um, so it was a totally new environment for me. Um, but you know, you get used to it and you do what you have to do. I've got a kid well, she just graduated college. So I think we've got like 2 months left in our grace period to start paying back the financial aid, and you know, it's life. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and the other thing too is if you enjoy what you're doing, you're not really working.
True.
So there,
I
there
agree.
is that. So if your passion is cooking, and even if you put in, 20 hours a day, it's something you really enjoy doing. That's not really work. So
Yeah.
there is
Well,
that, but there's really nothing out there that I could see myself committing to.
yeah. See,
Like,
I don't think I was attracted to the restaurant industry as I mean I was because I was the waitress when I was young and that kind of thing. But um what we did, my ex and I, we did startups. We were hired to consult and start up and train staff and open restaurants. Um, so the job that I have now, which I'm very happy with, is also a startup. It has nothing to do with food, but it's a startup is a startup is a startup. It's the same thing. It's got the same challenges, and that makes me happy. Like I look forward to going there. Like I don't dread it. You know what I mean? Like so,
you guys
yeah.
want to hear something crazy? This is incredible, man. On X, I've got 150 views.
Oh,
I have 150
yeah,
viewers.
yeah, where all are we streaming? As I'm spilling all my shit.
X, you're
I
on
thought we
X,
were just
you're on
on
Rumble,
YouTube.
you're on YouTube.
Ah, fuck me,
Yeah,
Sergeant.
there's nothing wrong
Mm,
with it. I look
okay,
at. I just want to say this to folks.
my face is on the screen, but that's all right.
I never, I never, I never,
Everybody on YouTube already knows it.
I honestly
Damn
never
it.
agreed with the way the system was set up. I was always a rebel, and I personally, for myself, my views of the world were different, in that I just don't want to give you more than an hour or two of my time to earn an income. And so I was able, because we live in fucking America, I was able, no matter all the crimes I committed, all the fucking problems I was in, all the fucking drugs I did, I was able to snap out of it and then almost instantly create the lifestyle that I had wanted. And so that's why I'm like so pro American. You can go from fucking rags to riches. It's just a decision you have to make, and then you have to start walking the walk.
Absolutely,
And once you start doing that, it all comes together, right?
I agree.
So I don't say that everybody should do what I do, or anybody that works 8, 10, 12 hours a day is a fool. That is absolutely not my perspective. My
No,
perspective for me is mine. Your understanding of how work, how many hours of your commitment, that's all good. And it's all based on individuality. But don't feel trapped. If you feel like you got to work an 8 to 5 job and you're trapped, I'm telling you that's a mental
but
trap that you built yourself.
I think that's one of the reasons why I've been successful later in my life in a 9 to 5. Was because you don't have 9 to 5 in restaurants, and it's about productivity, right? Like I can go in from 9 to 5, and my boss can watch me and see me, and the amount of work and stuff I get accomplished in those 8 hours pales in comparison to the person next to me who, dicks around on Facebook and gets up to get a cup of coffee and, talks to her buddy in the next QB for 20 minutes, and they don't produce much. Like,
Right.
because in restaurants you don't get to sit down. I think that's kind of in my mindset, and it's helped me be successful, which I'm thankful for, because I was like, 40 years old when I needed to enter back into the workforce. So
Yeah, I've been in the workforce for a long time. And here's the other thing too, folks. I own a business that I've never personally been a worker in. I'm in the construction field, and I've never done the work that my business does, ever. There's just never been a need for that. And this can go with a guy, like, for example, a lot of you may not know this, but a lot of football players and athletes own muffler shops and McDonald's and Burger Kings, and they ain't never worked in one of them fucking places either. So ownership of a business doesn't necessarily have anything to do with your ability to perform the business independently, right? And that's something a lot of people don't, for whatever reason, they think that that's weird, or they don't get that. You don't have to be a restaurant person to own and invest in restaurants or car shops or auto parts stores or anything like that to be an owner of
no,
any business. You just don't need to be familiar with the field of business that you're in. Literally,
no,
you
that's
don't.
that's exactly why my ex and I were hired, were for like sweat equity, like experience purposes, for you know rich men who decided it would be fun to open a restaurant because they liked food and they have no clue how to run a restaurant. Like, that's where the need for my business when I was married came in. You know what I mean? It was like it was like a contract. Like, you come, you set up, you train everybody, you do everything, and then 12 or 16 months later, 18 months later, you're done. Your contract's over, type of thing.
Well, a lot of people think that the first 5 years of a business is where most businesses fail, which is true. But that's supposed to be the learning experience. You shouldn't have to take 5 years, but it could take you up to 5 years to learn the ins and outs of a particular business you might get involved with. But you should have
Absolutely.
you should have the sense enough to learn during that period of time. I mean, so if you were to
And
invest in a
yeah,
Chick-fil-A, or you were to invest in and those are franchises, they actually help you get through it. But even if you're going to
yes.
open up some independent car shop, your experimentation is going to be able to decide and decipher who's a person that's a good worker, that'll man the place and do the work. And that's really what it comes down to. It's the end user is going to be affected by the person you put in charge of their work, whether it be a car repair, whether it be an air conditioning repair. You can own a heating and cooling company, or even become get a license to be an electrician, and never go out in the field and wire a fucking house, but still own the company. It's kind of incredible what you're able to do in businesses, and that unfortunately is being lost to corporates taking over everything. Everything has been corporatized, or not everything, but so much of it that independent business-minded person has become a non-independent work-minded person. And that's the problem with corporations. They shut out competition. And that's happening all over the country. Maybe that's something we should focus on with the stream.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever survive in a corporate environment, not because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't do the work, but I've never had a job that had HR. Like, I think I would be in HR's office all the fucking time because I'm a potty mouth and I'm like not sensitive. Like, I think I'd be getting in trouble all the time. It would not work for me.
Well, if you like the job, you probably would.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say something, offensive at the water cooler and get written up, probably. It's just that kind of
There you go.
been my experience.
Yep, the new car. Yeah, I've been fortunate, knock on wood. I don't think I had recently had a car payment because the interest rate was so low, and the interest rate that I was bearing in the accounts where the money came from was so much higher than the interest rate on the car.
Mhm.
It was almost free money. It was
It was,
0.9.
yeah.
It was 0.9%. So over the course of the loan, it cost me, I think, $470 in total interest.
Mhm.
And so I did carry that loan only because of that.
Yeah,
But
it makes
otherwise, I
sense.
would never pay cash. I would obviously pay cash. Like I bought the 21 Corvette. I bought paid in full at the point of purchase. That guy was pointing out someone got 40. They got into vending machines. That's another good business.
Yes, my
And,
cousin's in vending
yeah,
machines. He makes a hell of a living. And another thing, another, I'm like, sounds like I'm totally kissing your ass tonight. But another thing that Corvettes is a cool thing. My dad loves Corvettes. He's had several in his time here. So I like that you like Corvettes. He's had a Z06. Is that right?
yep, yeah,
Okay, he's had that. He still has a '74 Stingray convertible. Um, and he had like an '84 one with T-tops at one point.
yeah. The 84s are
Um,
hard to get in and out of, man.
yeah, but
It's,
I like Corvettes. Something about I guess because I was little and they were always around me. But yeah, I like Corvettes.
yeah, there you go. So someone opened up, got involved with Fantastic Sam's, and went out and did it on their own. There you go. So my point is, owning your own business doesn't require you to be a specialist. I mean, Elon Musk opened up a car company. Elon Musk opened up a rocket company and a satellite, and he didn't. He had technology like internet, IT stuff. He was good in. But the key to any business is just that you've got to weed through the fucking chaff and get to the good help.
Hmm. What about chat? Does anyone have any experiences they want to come up and share? I feel like I reach a max where I start to get on people's nerves. I noticed you did not rebut that.
Vending machines can be, but you got to be diligent in their locations. Didn't but what? I was reading chat.
Nothing, forget it. I'm not telling.
Okay.
No, I said I asked if there was anyone in chat who wanted to come up
Oh,
and share their experiences, and then I said because I kind of feel like I have a limit on here where I start to become like annoying and obnoxious to, to chat. So I'm trying to cut it off.
look at somebody is claiming they're showing a 4K video of a flying saucer shining a beam of light to the ground.
Oh, send them my way. I love aliens.
That shit ain't alien.
Probably not, but they're out there
No,
somewhere.
probably
Yes,
not.
they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah,
No, no, no,
but
no.
look at if they're out there, right?
Hmm.
With the trillions of different places they could go.
They're not coming to
The
us.
well, it's not that they're not coming to us. You can't know everything, right?
I thought
So
that's what you were going to say.
even if there's trillions of locations they could go to, and unless they're nearby to us already, then they probably visited us long ago and have no interest in us. And in other words, or they're so far away that what's the point?
I
It's
can
like
agree.
I say to people, when is enough enough? You live and you work your whole life, you start saving your 401k, your 401k gets good. When's enough enough? When? And so I think it's just hard for me to wrap my head around an alien is going to traverse the fucking universe to get here. To what end? What do we have that they need that
Free
they
will.
can't get along the way? This is what you see. Whatever you think is unique to Earth, whether it be a chemical or a mineral or anything, it's throughout the entire galaxy. There's literally planets that are carbon, that are actual diamonds. The planet itself is a diamond. So no matter what you think is unique to Earth, it's not. And so that's another argument against, for me, as to why would people come this far? And if you're going to come this far, then why not land and have a good old fucking time? Go to Las Vegas, right? Go to Mecca. Go to fucking Japan. Go do something, man. If you travel the distance, why hide from us? Makes no sense. That's why I never. The same thing with like Bigfoot and all that nonsense. It's show me a dead body. Show me some real animal, and people can't do that. Well, And then when you look at the amount of areas that they're cited in, it's impossible. Take me to your dealer. There you go. That's what I would say if I came from a different planet. I want to try some of your bud. I don't know. We get our heads full with it. Like, watch the Coberger conspiracies are going to start coming out. How he was railroaded and blah, 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 blah. Okay.
I don't think he was railroaded. He was too calm and collected to be railroaded. I think I don't know if there's any evidence of this, but I have heard a couple times today that this was the third time they offered this plea. And if that's true, then yeah, I could see him using it as just another, you know, another card in his hand. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say no the first. I'm going to drag it out as long as I can, and then when the state has expended so much money and the families are absolutely exhausted and all that, then yeah, I'll take it then. Like another big like fuck you to everybody type of thing. Because he did not seem caught off guard. He was very composed, very stoic, very clear with his words.
Well,
He didn't seem shook to me.
I accept him at his word, and I'm just pointing out you're going to see a whole bunch of these streamers now. I mean, it's just the thing that I find that is just rather stunning to me is Becky is owned up to it, but just the amount of time people invested chasing these fucking ghosts, it's just incredible to me. It's amazing how simple-minded we all are.
I have been one that up until last week or a couple days ago, who thought that he was involved. I never disagreed that he was aware, was probably present, was involved, but I did not think that he was alone. Cut to the past 48 hours, and I don't care who you're not going to admit guilt to something if you didn't do it. You're just to save your parents from testifying, to save
there are
yourself
exceptions.
from being shot.
There's exceptions to that rule. That's not entirely true.
It's
but
so hard for me to believe. Like, that goes against everything in my being. So it's so hard for me to wrap my head around anyone admitting to doing something that they absolutely did not do,
well,
unless
this
you're a complete.
isn't you were accused of robbing a gas station. This is killing 4 fucking adults, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
This is something beyond. I mean, and for you not to carry that to the jury, it's just insane to me. Even if you did it, there's nothing he did today is a sensible ending to this saga. But he chose to do it. It's his life, and he told us all he did it. So I'm content with that, and I can live with that, and I don't have to know any more than that.
I am too, but I'm still, they had lives too. They were at the beginning of it. Like, it's just hard when you think of all four. And I know that you don't get mushy, but when you think of the four, I mean, I've got my daughter's 22. Like, she just graduated, summa cum laude. Like, look at your daughter and how proud you are of her. Like, these kids were just beginning. It's a horribly tragic and sad and heartbreaking. Like, I've cried
I think
over
we
these
get
strangers.
we invest ourselves too much in that. In all fairness, I think that's one of the issues. One of the things we do maybe as a group to cover up the other things that we ignore. But on a daily basis, people are slaughtered and murdered and bombed,
That's true.
fucked up, and where's the outcry for all of those lives? So
That's true. But when the media constantly has it in your face, and when your hobby's true crime, it's hard. It's sad. Like, it's a horrific situation, and justice needs to be served. But I can also appreciate that he should get no sympathy or grace, and he will. He'll be protected. He'll be, he
look
won't be
at
in gen pop.
Yahoo won't let me post shoot him, no matter how I try to type it. It rejected my comment.
Gotta love it.
Fucking YouTube. I'll say it. Shoot him.
Pew pew.
Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew.
That's such a weak ass gun.
Get the pew pew. Like
I hate
people say,
when people type
unalive.
that. I know. Like,
unalive
pew pew.
four
What
people.
kind of gun is that?
I'm gonna go
Pew, pew.
unalive my ex-wife. It sounds so much fun. What the fuck is that?
I know.
Unalive.
Yes, and it kills me. I hate it. Because another fun fact about Gray, I actually have a degree in journalism, so words matter to me. And every time I hear like
Shoot him.
the dumb, like it kills me. I'm like, just say the fucking word. Our vocabulary has been dumbed down enough thanks to
Like
texting.
people are
So,
saying rugs instead of drugs.
yeah, grape. I love that one.
How
Grape.
can anybody
That
with
one
a
got that
with
one. That girl got graped. Oh, okay. That's
no? There's a
sounds
commercial about
racist.
being graped.
Ugh,
Did you ever see that?
no. It's a horrible word,
Are
but
you guys
don't
serious? You've never
belittle it
seen
by
these
saying
things?
grape. No, I haven't. I don't watch a lot of TV though. I'm always on YouTube. To be
Yeah, but
fair.
this is where it can be found is on YouTube.
Mm.
I'm going to show you. Hang on, folks. This shit's crazy funny. It's stupid, but funny as fuck.
I can't. All right.
Come on.
I'm very curious.
There's 5.8 million views on this shit. It's funny.
5.8? Is that a coincidence?
No,
I
16
think
years ago
not.
this was made. I want to know where these kids went. Because these kids are just fucking they're funny beyond stupid funny. All right, so I gotta present. You guys ready for this?
All right, wait,
On the
because I
share
was
the
focusing
screen.
on the 5.8. What year was this, real quick?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you already said
16
it. All
years
right, my
ago.
bad. Go ahead,
16
play.
years ago.
Okay, that's fine.
2012.
So it's old. It's old as shit. Go ahead, play it. Sorry.
You kids look like you could use a delicious fruity beverage. Who are you? Might I suggest Fizzy Pop's Grape Blast, the new soda from Johnson and Hedges? Open wide, kids, because I'm gonna grape you in the mouth.
Oh my god. Wow.
He's going to what them in the mouth?
He's going to grape them.
Mm. Now,
What the fuck people are saying in the chat room? Wait, I gotta shut it off every 30 seconds, I think, so I don't get blocked or booted.
He's going to grape them.
Yeah, in the mouth.
Right.
Sure. There's more.
No, I'm sorry. All right, well, I'm not sure that I'm comfortable with the catchphrase, I'm going to grape you in the mouth for our new mascot.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're just not sure about that one. Yeah, we might want to workshop it a touch.
Really? Why? That's his thing. He grapes people. He grapes people in the mouth.
absolutely no plausible deniability. None whatsoever. They
It's
admit
not exactly
that
sure that
it's
that
weird.
He
is-
sneaks into little kids' rooms in the middle of the night and he grapes them in the mouth.
Oh my god.
okay, see, because I think that the reason that I'm a little hesitant is because to me, it sounds like he's saying, he's going to grape them.
What? Oh, no. No. What? Oh,
I'm sorry.
It's not even halfway through.
I know. I
What the
know.
fuck?
Okay, here we go.
sorry. Sir, get your mind out of the gutter. He's a grape. How is a grape gonna rape a kid? What are you talking about?
But it sounds like
It's a grape commercial, sir.
I love it. He like grapes the kids. Okay, I mean, if I'm in the minority here, we can keep going.
This is just fucked up. There's another.
Wow.
There's so many of these. It's called the whitest kids you know. That's the name of this stream.
Wow.
Hey, kids, I'm gonna tie you to the radiator and grape you.
Okay,
What? Why'd you stop it?
I'm gonna tie you to the radiator and grape you.
What?
I'm going to rape you. No, that's what it sounds like he's saying. I love it. Really?
Are you back on this rape thing again?
Why was he gonna tie them to a radiator?
That's how he grapes people. That's what he does.
No,
He's the grapist.
the grapist. That's his name. The grapist. Class.
Oh, these
It's
these four are fucked.
Oh
Imagine
my
16 years later having this be revived. Ha!
Well-
What the hell?
It gets worse. Wait, it gets worse before it ever gets better.
This is obviously a rape scenario.
What? Why are you trying to twist a children's soda commercial into your weird, sick, sort of twisted, pervy...
Why were they running? Why was that child screaming mom?
Well, that kid is a horrible actor, and the next time we shoot the commercial, we're going to use somebody else, because the thing is...
These kids were obviously horrified.
Not that girl. Look, she's totally asking for it.
What?
Look at her. She's begging to get graped.
Is this just fucking crazy? What a great thing. You run away. This is
No,
like
I'm here.
unimaginably insane, isn't it?
I have no words. It doesn't happen often, but
Will you listen to yourself?
Look what she's wearing.
Look what she's wearing?
It's purple.
Oh, okay. No, no, no.
Rape those kids. I love it.
Look, do you guys want the commercial or not?
Yes, we want the commercial. Of course we want the commercial.
We want it. Here's the paperwork.
I just have some serious reservations about this whole thing.
Do you mind?
No, not at all.
Buy some today and get a free grape whistle.
A grape whistle? Really?
Okay, when I finish graping you, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to grape your mother and your father, and then I'm going to take your whole family down to the basement and grape you all for decades and decades.
See, I think this is too much. I think it's too much.
shh. I muted to hit my pen and I'm dying. Fuck.
Is that the
Oh my
most fucked
God.
up commercial ever? Or what the
Yes.
fuck? I saw that a long time ago. I just couldn't believe it. The
Oh my
whitest
God.
kid you know is the name of this stream. I'm going to play this one. We'll call it a night after. This is about the JFK assassination. You got to watch this one. 'Cause this
All
one
right.
is fucking epic. Hang on. Let me see if I can present. And folks, you know, you all decided to come in here. Sorry. Not sorry. Right?
Hit the like if you're having fun.
Watch this shit. I'm just gonna play the whole thing through, and then
Yeah, you'll be fine. They're not gonna. These kids, they're embarrassed. They're not gonna strike you. They're hiding.
President of the United States. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fatality. Double kill. Headshot. New world record. The crowd goes wild. They can't believe it. It's never been done before. Who is this new kid? It's Oswald. They put him on their shoulders. They're taking him through town. He's the coolest guy ever.
Ready for the big day?
Holy jeez, Lyndon Johnson, you scared me. I almost dropped my gun out the window. What do you want?
Just being a good vice president. Thought I'd pop my head in, make sure everything's in order.
Yes, everything's fine. Thank you. Go away. See you later. Thanks for checking in.
Just wanted to double check. Know we got a lot riding on this. Days of planning and whatnot.
Okay, well, you came by and you said your piece, so thank you very much. Job done. Duly noted. You can leave now. See you later. Bye.
Guns loaded.
Yes, the gun's loaded. It's loaded with like 1,000 bullets.
Safety off.
Yes, the safety is... Yes, the safety is off, okay? I know what I'm doing, all right? Lee Harvey Oswald is on the job. Thanks.
A little breezy today. Just hope you're taking that into consideration. Looks like it's coming from the southeast.
Look, I know where the wind is coming from, okay? I'm a sniper.
Hi. Hello there. Hi. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. Hi. Hello there. How are you enjoying the country? Okay. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello to you, sir. Hello to you, ma'am. Yes. 1 second, please. Thank you. Hi. Hello. Hello. Yes. What is it, woman?
Could we put the top up?
No. I need my constituents to see me. Hi.
It's just a little chilly back here. It's coming from the southeast. I don't want you to catch a cold.
I'm not going to catch a cold. I need to wave to my fans. Hello there.
Don't come crying to me when you freeze the back of your head off.
I'm not going to freeze the back of my head off.
I don't know.
Hi, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. You have a flag. That's very nice.
Driver! Driver!
Can you play that song that I like?
No, do not play that song that she likes.
What's the name of that song that I like?
Oh, chicky picky, yeah?
Yeah, that's
No!
I'm just saying, if you want to shoot him while he's there, you can shoot him from that building, or that building, or any other building.
I want to do it my way.
Fine, do it your way.
Thank you.
It's just wrong.
Okay, that's it.
This is humiliating. The people can hear you. You're the first lady, for Christ's sakes. This song is terrible.
You don't respect people's work. I'm trying to do something nice for you, and you're just sitting there eating potato chips. It's like you don't even care if I shoot this guy or not.
Hey!
Look, I just want to be by myself for a little while, okay?
Yeah, this part's kind of corny.
Somewhere out in space, there is a place where I can do what I want to, and all at my own pace.
Somewhere out of time, I hope I'll find a place where I can just unwind and work on my own mind.
Oh, send me a signal. Oh, give me a prayer. I just need to know that there's some spot out there where I could be me and you could be you and we could be we. How great it would be where I could be me and you could be you and we could be we. How great it would be where I could be me and you could be you and we could be we. How great it would be where I could be me and you could be you and we could be we. How great it would be.
Someone else shot him.
Better run, boy.
Wow.
Better run, boy.
That was good. It wasn't quite as shocking, like as offensive as the first one. Well, to me.
Yeah.
But it
Oh,
was
man.
spot on. Like yeah, that was good.
It does make fun of the conspiracy of the shooting of John F. Kennedy, right? It's been long enough.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
him and Lee like arm in arm singing. Like that's amazing. That was funny.
Holy fuck. Boo, boo. Someone else shot him. Better run, boy. Oh,
All right. Thank you for having me. I'm doing it before you can. Bye.
I got her. Let's be clear. You can't outrun the button of a mouse. Sorry. You can try, but don't warn me you're going to leave and not expect you're going to get booted. Come on. All right, folks, listen. I haven't seen those clips in a long fucking time. I don't even know what inspired me to even bring them up. But there is a show out there called The Whitest Kids You Know. And they put some stupid shit together, and it's just fucking funny. It's offensive. No, don't get me wrong. It is absolutely can be offensive, but you know, sometimes you could turn offensive into humor, I guess, as these guys have attempted to do. And I think they did a pretty good fucking job of it. And there's a number of their videos out there. I like that. Woo! Someone else shot him. Better run, boy. It's like, oh fuck. Holy Christ. So anyway, folks, that's the show for tonight. Remember, Brian Coberger is guilty because he admitted and confessed to his guilt in a public forum, which we refer to as a court of law. The Coberger case has found its final conclusion. The accused has taken responsibility for the murders of the 4 young innocent victims. And in my opinion, he should be given a firing squad. And I appreciate you all following along. You've been on this for a long time, 32 months. And we've carried through with it the entire time the case was in the public domain. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of chaos and a lot of argument out there. And as far as I'm concerned, the case has been concluded. And I hope many of you feel the same. It's not to be liked or disliked, just to be understood that Brian Coberger is the killer of the 4 individuals in the college town of Moscow, Idaho. Everybody have a good night. Be good or be bad. If you're going to be bad, don't get caught. Don't be a Coberger.